Charlie Kirk's best friend Andrew called that, the one who revealed that somehow the bullet that entered Charlie's body did not get out because Charlie has superhuman man of steel bones. He gave an interview trying to make it clear about the offer from Israel of 150 million. What was Charlie Kirk's actual stance on Israel? And well, a couple more things. And I wanted to analyze his body language and his statements about that. So let's take a look.
Charlie's position on Israel was very clear. I like them more than I like Hamas.
Well, that is easy. That is quite easy, but well.
I just wish I was free to criticize Israel and not be labeled an anti-Semite.
I find it hard that Charlie Kirk would say something like that or along those lines. I'm assuming that Andrew is paraphrasing it because, well, we have already made a distinction between the Jews, Israel, and Netanyahu, or the Israeli government. That's three different things. It's like Andrew here is making a blanket statement talking about just Israel as the country, I guess, or the government. We could never know. That is the problem of not being specific about stuff.
Because I can criticize my own government and not be called anti-American.
Right.
But when he talks about the American government, that is one thing. He's being specific about the American government, but he was not specific about the Israeli government. Okay?
But why do I have more freedom to do, that and not criticize, a foreign government? And he was really upset that there was this sort of clampdown on the freedom of expression, the freedom of ideas, free speech when it came to a foreign government. And
I find it hard to believe that Charlie Kirk, somebody who was famous for being able to debate with people, and basically the moment that somebody said something nonsensical, such as, for example, if you are criticizing Netanyahu or the Israel government, it means that you're anti-Semite. That would be, Charlie would have called anybody out to their faces instantly. So it simply, I don't know, from what I saw from Charlie's speeches, I don't think this, this doesn't pass the smell test. It's like, I could criticize the Israel government, any foreign government. Anybody should be free to do so. And somebody said, you're hating the people. You're criticizing Nicolas Maduro, then you hate Venezuelans. That is nonsense. I've said it so many times. So I don't think Charlie Kirk would have been deterred by that. So I don't know. Doubt.
Free speech when it came to a foreign government.
The pacifying gesture on his neck doesn't help.
Government. And I will say this, he felt like he had earned the right as a friend of the Jewish people over the years and all of the things that he had done. He felt like his bona fides in that respect.
The problem of this interview is that you see that there's a lot of editing. You see that he is uncrossing his legs here. And immediately in the next cut, he's got his legs crossed again. So there might be context missing in here. I just went to the source and still edited like this. Big problem.
His bona fides in that respect were unassailable, and that he should have the freedom to say, hey, it's time to end the war. Hey, it's time to stop the killing. But, when with Tucker, for example, we took some pushback. We lost some.
Okay, wait a second. It's time to end the war. It's time to stop the killing. But, it takes two to tango, right? It's not like you have to, just pull Israel's skirt and say, hey, you should stop the war. You have to take into account Hamas as well to stop the war. So it's not like it's one-sided scenario. So this also is a bit odd.
It's time to end the war. Hey, it's time to stop the killing. But, when with Tucker, for example, we took some pushback. We lost some donors. And what's interesting is it wasn't necessarily Jewish donors, although there was because that's a misconception about Turning Point's funding base, by the way, is, it's not a whole lot of Jewish donors. It's just not. There was always, I saw the comments online, like,
I see a lot of disjointed sentences. Like he starts talking about how he welcomed Tucker Carlson in, and then they lost some donors, but not all of them were Jewish. But it's not like Turning Point is a lot of Jewish donors. So if this guy is in charge of anything at Turning Point, I hope it is not public relations, because he's very bad at it.
Oh, the Jewish shekels or something like. I mean, it's all this gross stuff. It just wasn't true, and it isn't true. But we did lose, one in particular towards the end that was frustrating. There's this great clip when we were in Myrtle Beach, and he got asked if, from somebody in the audience, if he was going to, debate Candace or, disavow Tucker. And Charlie's answer I thought was amazing. I remember he came off stage. He's like, "Do you like that one?" And I was like,
he would always ask that for reassurance.
Yeah. He always loved, like, "Did you see that? Did you listen?
Yeah. Do I look good? Was that a good clip? Do you think that'll go viral?"
Yeah. And I remember saying, like, "Yeah, I thought it was amazing. It was morally so crystal clear." And he basically said, "I don't appreciate being morally blackmailed." And and every time people would say that to him, he would dig his heels in. It's like, well, maybe Tucker's going to give 2 speeches now at MFest.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll invite so-and-so.
That was one thing.
So again, it's like you're saying that. It's like you're saying that if somebody told Charlie Kirk, no, you should not invite Tucker Carlson to, this event. No, I'm going to invite him twice. And again, why would Charlie Kirk would be worried about anybody calling him an anti-Semite, because it was only one argument, one statement away. You are wrong. I'm criticizing a government, not the Jews. I mean, it's as simple as that. That doesn't. I don't know. It's something that Andrew is not. It's not very. I would say that he's not being clear about that.
Maybe Tucker's going to give 2 speeches now at MFest.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll invite so-and-so.
That was one thing, like Charlie and I relate to him so much, is that him and I both do that, where we don't like being told what to do.
Oh, I've noticed that before, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Andrew, I'm like, oh, there's so many things that we could talk about. How many times that Andrew and Charlie have had to put out fires for me that I've started. But like, yeah, when I'm told I can't do something, it's like, well, I'm going to do it even harder then. That's just my personality. Mm-hmm. Charlie is very much the same way. I
think that's the key. It's like Charlie was a friend of the Jewish people and a friend of Israel. Did he have opinions about the prosecution of the war, he thought their PR was abysmal, thought they were doing more harm than good in many ways for their own cause. So all of those things were true, and he was upset that he couldn't express those things freely without all of this pressure coming down on the organization.
Pressure coming down from whom? Pressure from the public? I don't think that Charlie would have cared about that. Pressure from donors? And Andrew is like, he tries to make a very good case that, it's not like all Jewish donors. Why would you say something like that? Why would you have to clarify something like that? And you were upset by this one donor going away. Was that one donor Jewish or not? Was there a conflict of interest or not? This is so vague. This is so... I mean, why is he giving this interviews if he's going to give this kind of answer?
He has a lot of great Jewish friends.
He's got a lot of Jewish friends. Oh, right, yeah, this, the usual rhetoric. Oh, I am not an anti-Semite.
And, and some people that maybe some not so good ones, right? But I think it's just a nuanced thing. Was Charlie offered $150 million from Israel? As far as I know, no.
Notice that way he answered that. As far as I know, no. He has his legs crossed, it has his arms crossed, and has his head is a bit backwards. I wouldn't say that he knows. I think that he should know if he's such a good friend of Charlie. That's the thing. I'm gonna say this guy for me, upon first impression, doesn't pass the vibe check. I don't know if maybe you at home watching this on your phone or your TV. Let me know in the comments what do you get from this. This is the first time I hear him talking and see him talking. I just follow him on Twitter, but had never seen him like in the flesh, we could say. But I don't know. This he doesn't pass the vibe check for me.
I had never heard anything like that. Everyone I've asked has said the same thing.
And by the way, just for what it's worth, it doesn't matter the amount that would have been coming down. We would have said no.
And there's evidence that is true.
Turning Point does not. Charlie would not accept foreign money.
Exactly.
We only took American money.
We only took American money. We don't take foreign money. How hard would it be for a foreign entity or a foreign country to channel money through an American entity? I mean, that's just that is. I can't imagine something easier than that. I can't imagine anything easier than that.
Yeah,
there was money sent to us, like practically in multiple instances, where they're trying to cram it down our bank account. And we said no. We canceled like money wires and things.
No foreign money, and also no handouts from the government. During the pandemic, 100%. He refused to do mass layoffs that everybody else in the country was doing. Said no to the whatever that check was. What was that they were handing out? Stimulus check.
Yeah. The PPE loans, right? I always get PPP and PPE mixed up, but yeah.
But it was a good amount of money that at the time we could have used.
Yeah.
He put out a company statement saying, this was tempting for sure, but we're going to say no.
Yeah.
I mean, he was very principled in that way.
He was extremely principled, especially on foreign money. I remember moments we'd be at like an event,
Again, both of them having this recollection of Charlie, and I think that in this short clip, that I think is 4 minutes, we have a very good idea that Charlie was, adamant in his principles and what he believed in. So that just clashes with what Andrew said at the beginning of this clip. What's this?
Just wish I was free to criticize Israel and not be labeled an anti-Semite.
Anti-Semite. Sorry for pronouncing that wrong. Anti-Semite. You see all the instances that they mentioned that Charlie had this character, that this no-nonsense approach. I couldn't care less. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to invite Tucker Carlson if I want. I will accept the money of the people that I decide to. I won't fire people during the pandemic. I won't accept handouts from the government. He was this force of nature and also debating, and you want to really, you want to make us think, after these 4 minutes that both of you have exposed that amazing nature of Charlie, which this force of nature in Charlie, you're telling me that he was a friend?
Just wish I was free to criticize Israel and not be labeled an anti-Semite.
Does that make sense to you? As in, by every practical measure, Charlie literally did what he wanted. And when somebody said something nonsensical, he called them out there on the spot. So Charlie wished he could criticize Israel more. I don't know. I don't know the implications of this. I'm just watching this clip. I hadn't watched this clip. This is like a blind run. And, first, the vibe check doesn't, Andrew Colvett doesn't pass my vibe check. And this is a contradiction. This is a blatant contradiction, and this doesn't make any sense. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. What do you think about this, really? What you think that Charlie would have acted like that? I don't know. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bad Language Guy. Much love and bliss.